Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will discuss the importance of chemistry in our lives, and it is well said that chemistry is life. In this lecture we will see some applications or examples to support this statement, that is chemistry is life. Life of all living organisms is based on chemistry. In how? And the answer to this question is everything of our surrounding is made of chemicals. Let's have a look at some examples of everyday chemistry. If we take the example of water we drink, is made of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, and these two are elements means we drink a chemical daily. It means our life is dependent on a chemical, that is water. The food we eat contains carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, lipids. All these are chemicals, and you can see the chemical formula indicating that all these are made of elements. Like if we take the example of carbohydrate, the basic carbohydrate, that is glucose, and the chemical formula glucose is C6H12O6. It means it is a chemical. It means all these chemicals are essential for our life, because if we do not take any food which contains some of these chemicals like carbohydrate, proteins and lipids, then we may have some sort of disorders or diseases. The foods or spices, in fact the spices bring from the market, they contain chemicals as well, like they have salt, they may have dyes means coloring compounds, or spices may have spices like masalas may have citric acid, or any other additives added to them to increase their shelf life, and all these are chemicals. Salt is a chemical. There is a chemical formula of salt, and chemical name of the salt is NaCl, sodium chloride. It means it is a chemical. If we take the example of pickles, in case of pickles, salt, oil and acetic acid is present in pickle, and all these things are chemicals. If we consider the example of juices, we drink, they contains flavors, artificial flavors. They contain sugar. Sugar is a chemical. It is a disaccharide, and then they have additives to increase their shelf life, and additives are some sort of chemicals. They may have glucose added to them, and dyes, artificial colors. Another example is fabric, textile sector. The fabric we use is of different colors, and dyes have been used over them to give them specific colors, to give them brightness, to increase their beauty, and these dyes are also chemicals, and these dyes bind with the fabric to specific bonds. They have binding sites. In fact, they have some specific binding sites with the fabric, so that whenever we wash our cloth, the dyes or colors do not remove. Again, it is an example of chemistry. If we consider the example of threads, threads are made of fibers, and these fibers have been stuck together through some chemicals, and they have different colors. Dyes, again, dyes are chemicals. If you take the example of medicines, every time you have observed that every time whenever we take out syrup or tablet or capsule from the cardboard, then specific chemical name of the active component of the medicine, or you may have seen the chemical formula of the active component of the medicine, which clearly indicates that medicines are chemicals. Then if you take the example of paints, vanishes, These paints have dyes. Again, dyes are chemicals, and these paints or many is applied over furniture or building to give them strength and to enhance their beauty. The paints make water soluble or oil soluble, and again they have specific affinities with the furniture material or the building material, and these are chemicals. And another most important example of chemical use number of different things which are made of plastic, like if we consider the example of furniture, and other than furniture there are a number of things which are made of chemicals. You can see some of them in this diagram, and plastic is another example of chemical. If we take the example of fuels like methane, the gas which we use in our homes for domestic purposes, this gas is chemical because it have a specific formula, that is methane. Then the formula is CH4, carbon and 4 atom of hydrogen, 1 atom of carbon and 4 atoms of hydrogen, and clearly indicates that it's a chemical. Then the electricity plays an important role in our lives, and without electricity we are not able to move our lives, because we uses a number of different machines which are operated through electricity. And if we consider the definition of electricity or electric current, that is flow of electrons, and if we are using this term, that is flow of electron, it means that again chemistry is involved in this sector as well. If you take the example of cosmetics, cosmetics are also dependent on chemistry. They have different dyes, or nail polish, or thinners. They have organic solvents, and it means they are chemicals. Then paper is important for our lives, and we use it in different forms, in notebooks, textbooks, or any other form. Paper is made of cellulose. Cellulose is extracted from plants, and cellulose is basically made of glucose, and again glucose is a chemical. It's a carbohydrate. Its formula is C6H12O6, which clearly indicate that it is a chemical. If we take the example of ourselves, our body is made of mainly two components, that is muscles and bones. Muscles are made of proteins and carbohydrates. These are chemicals. And bones, we take calcium in form of supplements or medicines to overcome the deficiency of calcium in our body, and we take calcium to make our bones strong, and calcium is again a chemical. It means that our life, the things around us and our body, all these things are dependent on chemistry. And skeleton means bones gives a specific shape. Without skeleton or without bones, our muscles would look like just look like piece of fabric or piece of cloth. It will not have any specific shape. Even every breath of living organism depends on chemistry. We breathe in oxygen, that is a chemical, and we breathe out carbon dioxide, that is also a chemical. We cannot take out chemistry from our lives even if we want. So if chemistry is involved, to this much extent in our life, then we cannot take it out from our lives. So bring this subject from papers to your thinking, and get over fear of chemistry. And at the end, I want to say that love chemistry, because we are living chemistry. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.